first question is, what is fear?
Fear is one thing that everybody knew. Not before they were 2 or 3, but as soon as we became aware of ourselves, our identity, then the fear also came along with the identity. Fear is always about losing one's identity. And it is a sensation which arises somewhere between your solar plexus and your throat, mostly around the center of your chest region, when the palpitation goes higher and then you feel crunching in the stomach and throat chokes and body shakes. All these symptoms starts happening, but basically it is something happening around the heart chakra. In the yogic term we call it around the heart chakra. Now if you really see, the heart chakra represents 3 forms of energy. What? Love, fear and hatred. When someone is deeply hurt, you see an arrow passing through the heart. When they are so hurt, they become hateful, right? So love, when it turns sore, it becomes hatred. And same way, love for one's identity causes fear, because fear of losing. So love, fear and hatred, these are the 3 triangles. When there is love, when there is immense love, there is no fear and there is no hatred. When there is hatred, there is neither love nor fear. People who are very hateful, they have zero fear in them. But if you have fear, you neither feel hatred nor feel love, because fear takes over you. But now what to do? Can you just get rid of fear? You can transform fear. Fear can be transformed into love, into more awareness. There is a way to get out of fear. You know what? You be grateful. And gratefulness is, or grief, they are the emotions of the throat chakra. When you are in deep sorrow, there is no fear. Or when you are grateful, there is no fear. So now you see, you can get over fear by feeling grateful, grateful for all that you have been bestowed with, grateful for your life, and grateful for the higher power which is guiding you and which is giving you what you need.
Gurudev, in difficult situations like the one currently challenging the world, how do we deal with this fear?
When an unseen virus is troubling the entire world, the entire humanity is at standstill, now we need to have sense of cooperation. This is the time to shun our personal grudges, our personal feeling of loss or benefit. This is the time to stand up with humanity, solidarity with the world, and following the rules that are laid down by the scientists.
Is it bad to continuously check for news and alerts in today's time?
We should be well updated with the latest news, be in touch with the news, but don't get immersed in it. There is a difference. One is you get to know about the news and you are well informed. Another is you are chewing on it the whole time. From the first thing in the morning to the last thing you do before going to bed, if you keep thinking about just the virus and how many people are affected, how many are dying, I think it's going to have a bad impact on your system too. So keep some windows for information for you and get yourself busy doing other things in between. See, people who are engaged in activity, they see the news only when they come back home, right? You can get alerts, but you don't have to sit and see them all the time. Let's see, you watch the news in TV or in your iPad, not the whole day, right? Only when you come back from work, when you are doing work, at that time you are fully focused on that. So now let us do such things and keep some windows when we watch the news.
What steps to take to control the fear within ourselves and the people around us?
The steps to take to control fear, number 1 is do pranayamas, breathing exercise, very important. And then meditation, number 2. Third is, fear is always in the new. Once it's already old, you will start losing fear of it. Already 2 weeks, you see already it is less and less and less. When you get used to some situations, circumstances, you no longer are afraid of it. But don't let that thing happen to you, because even that is dangerous. If you get used to this negative news and you don't care for it anymore, then you may end up violating laws and getting into much bigger trouble.
What is the meaning of joy?
Joy is something which has not left anyone untouched. You have experienced joy and you don't need to define it. Why do you want to define everything? These are basic human emotions or human feelings, experiences. I tell you, most of the experiences like joy cannot be defined, but it can be experienced fully.
How to reach and keep in a state of joyfulness?
By being in the present moment, by accepting the past, not worrying about the future, expanding your awareness and vision, and invoking the courage of valor within you. The valor helps you to overcome fear and it gives you confidence. Living in the present moment refreshes your mind and your spirit, and letting go of the past, you feel a new lease of life coming up to you. Not worrying about the future, that is instilling faith in yourself and in the divinity.
How to make others feel joy in our company?
I would leave this question to you. If you have this question, time and again you will get very many answers, very many ways, very many methods. You may apply all of them and see what works. But this very intentions, I want to give joy to everybody around me, itself is good enough for you to move in that direction. It's half done. Job is half done. Now, don't try to be funny. You will fail, miserably fail. If you are natural, if you are centered, you will have sense of humor. Even that becomes spontaneous.
What is loneliness?
When you feel your connection to everybody is very weak, or it has no juice in it, when you feel that nobody is understanding you, when you feel that you have to do it all by yourself and you have no one else to guide or take you along and there is nobody to care you, then this feeling of loneliness dawns on you. But my dear, when you wake up and see, where are you? How can you be alone? You can't be alone. There is a beautiful story in the life of a saint in south of India, in Karnataka. One guru told one of his disciples, he was a shepherd, and gave him a banana and asked him, you eat the banana where nobody sees you. So he gave similar bananas to a dozen more of his disciples, and they all next day came to report, and one said, I ate it in the night and nobody looked at me. Another said, I went into the water where nobody saw me and I ate the banana. But only one disciple came back with the banana. He gave it back to the Guru and said, Gurudev, I could not eat it. Because every time I want to eat, I felt your presence. I felt the presence of God. So I was never alone. How could I eat it? This story is very heartwarming. You must realize the universal consciousness is always with you. You can never be alone. You are never left alone. Divinity is with you. God is with you. Okay, suppose you say, I don't believe in God. Never mind. But nature is with you. The air loves you. That's why it's going inside you and out of you. Even while you are sleeping, the air is going in and out, right? Your heart loves you. That's why it's beating. Sun loves you. It's shining on you. In creation, there is love. If you recognize that, you can never feel that loneliness. When you want to take things from people, when you feel that your life is empty, it's quite but natural you feel lonely. Just imagine another position you can come from. Suppose you are here to give to the world, give to people around you. This very thought, I am here to contribute to the life of others, your loneliness will disappear utterly.
What do you mean by optimism?
Optimism is a mechanism to pull you out of pessimism. In between optimism and pessimism is somewhere the realism is. The reality stands somewhere in between. So, when you think something is little more than reality, or you are trying to stretch the reality for future, you call it, I am very optimistic, optimism. To counter pessimism, you are talking about optimism. But one who is really optimistic, he will not even see it is optimism. He or she will consider it as the realism. That is the truth. Got it? You see, when compassion is in your nature, you don't think you are doing an act of compassion to somebody. You just act because it is in your nature.
How to cultivate a balanced mind with a positive attitude?
First and foremost is have a bigger context to life. See life from the context of time and space, from the context of the universe. What are you? Who are you? This planet is been here for billions of years, and you are here just for less than 100 years, and in that half of the time is already gone, and half the time is spent sleeping. See your life in context of time and space. Suddenly you will wake up from the gloomy mindset, negative mindset, number one. Second, definitely do some pranayama and meditation. Meditation and pranayama raises the prana up in you. When the prana or the chi is high, you cannot be negative. People who are negative in their thinking, in their action, in their behavior, is mainly because their prana level is low. The life force is low in them. So, do everything possible in your capacity to raise up the prana. So, you will feel you are bubbling enthusiasm, you are bouncing with enthusiasm. Then there cannot be negativity. Right? Third is engage yourself in some service activity, selfless service activity. So I want nothing, I am here to give it to everyone. Third thing is engage yourself in some service activity. There are people who are less fortunate than you, and you do what you can do to them. You are here to help others. With this very awareness, when you move, you will come out of negativity.
What is boredom? Is it okay to be bored?
Boredom is repetition of an event or an attitude or an atmosphere. So your mind gets bored, your heart never gets bored, because your mind gets bored by repetition. Mind always looks for something new, new technology, so you want to go for new things. The mind which goes in for new things is averse to repetition. Whereas your heart longs for the old, and your heart is not satisfied by saying something or visiting something once. It wants to do it again and again and again. Heart loves repetition. Boredom is that link where the repetition leads to the head, causes boredom. The repetition leads to your heart, is love or spiritual experiences or meditation or whatever you can say. You can turn boredom into an act of meditation.
Is keeping oneself continuously occupied a key to escape boredom, especially in today's day where everyone is quarantined at home?
This is the time you can develop your skills, you can do many things, and this is the time for you to attend to all those things which you have been putting to the side.
Gurudev, they're asking 5 things to do when bored at home.
When bored at home, try to learn a language and teach everybody at home that particular language. You could learn any one of the Indian languages, or get 5 sentences from Spanish language or French or German. You can pick up 5 sentences, 10 sentences. If you are a Punjabi, pick up 10 sentences from Tamil. And if you are a Tamil Nadu, pick up 5 sentences from Rajasthan or Assam. So like this, why not we play around? In this, we will learn more languages, number one. Second is we can engage ourselves in some painting. If you are not a painter, this is the time for you to become a painter. If you are not a musician, this is the time for you to explore that avenue of life. Life has many dimensions, and we have not been using many of them, or most of them. This is the time for you to explore all those corners of your inner home of your or your consciousness which you have never used. Make use of them. Cook. Cooking is another thing. Cook different dishes of different states or different continents sitting at home. You can do this. You will have a lot of fun and get certificate from the lady of the house or the cook of the house. This is something you can do. You can think of doing many creative things. Amidst all this, do not forget to meditate at least 2 times a day, if not 3.
What is anger and why do we get angry?
When you want something, when you don't get it, you get angry, number 1. Second is when you love perfection and when you see imperfection, you get upset, you get angry. These are the 2 situations. One is you see you are weak, you could not get what you want, you get angry. Second is you want perfection and you don't see people around you coming up to your level, you get angry. Or you get angry at yourself because you have an ideal, you have a level of perfection, you are not coming up to it, you get angry at yourself. So this is a ping pong that happens within you. Either you get angry at yourself or you are angry at others. Why? Number 1, you want perfection. Number 3 is you are so adamant that you are holding on to something, your desires, your wishes. You want everything to be that way. You are not open to the possibilities, more possibilities. Again here, meditation and pranayama will help you a lot. Proper food will help you. If you are a pitta type, you are prone to get angry. So you must take care of your diet and you must take care of your stress level. Yeah? If you are calm, if you are serene, you can take up more stress. Some of you cannot take more stress. A little more stress comes in your work, then you flare up. Many times you are putting up a pleasant face or a smile. It's only facade. It's only outside. Inside there is boiling. Inside there is anger, there is frustration. You must attend to this frustration within you. You must get rid of it by pranayama, by meditation, by knowledge. Once you feel lighter from inside, you will see your angers are very mild. And even if it happens for some good cause, for good reason. There is nothing wrong about anger, but it should not stay for too long. If it stays and ferments, it will kill you. So it's okay to show. I'm not saying you should always keep a smiley face and when mistakes are happening, you should just accept everything. No. There are 2 types of anger. One is anger which you show so that some work could be done, but it should be done sparingly. Another is you becoming angry yourself. It's okay to get angry. When you draw a line on the surface of water, see how long it stays. Your anger must stay only that long. Then it's a healthy anger. But if your anger stays like a line on the stone, it's going to harm you.
How should one behave with an angry family member, friend, or loved one?
See, when a loved one or family member is angry, first of all understand they are not in the normal state. So something is bothering them. You don't get upset with the sick people. So know that they are not so healthy now. They are somewhere sick. Number 1. The moment you understand this, that something is bothering them, let us help them out of it. Then you don't react to their anger. You have better understanding about the person. Correct? Second situation is, if they are showing anger and it is just a tantrum that they are throwing around all the time to get their work done, there is nothing wrong you showing even more anger to them. They may cool down. That can bring them down also. Third one is, you give them confidence that they are not alone, you are with them and you care for them and you will work with them to get over whatever is their issue, their problems that they are facing now. And fourth thing is, make sure that they are shown to a good Ayurvedic doctor. If their pitta level is high, their nervous system is weak, then they will keep getting bouts of anger for no reason again and again. They need some Ayurvedic treatment then. And definitely get them to do meditation. Pranayama and meditation can immensely help them to get over their own anger.
What is anxiety?
Anxiety is challenging one's identity, one's basis Anxiety is fear of losing one's basis. Anxiety is fear of losing one's security, one's comfort. See, our comfort and security are in many things, in people, in position, in things around us. And anxiety is when we feel, oh, this may go away from us. Right? Remember, you are going to die one day. Death is for sure. When you understand this hard truth of life, one day we're all going to die, we're going to drop everything, no anxiety can touch you. A gentle awareness of death itself can bring you more strength and power to live life without anxiety, without fear. Second is faith in yourself. When your faith is shaken, then anxiety comes. When your faith is strong, anxiety don't even come close to you. Whether it is faith in God, faith in nature, faith in yourself, that's it. Anxieties will stay far away from you. You can't even sight them.
In today's rapidly changing and difficult environment, how can one keep calm and composed?
In today's environment also, can you sleep? Do you sleep every night? Whatever is outside, even there is a war happening outside, don't you sleep when it is time? You do. Like that. In today's situation, there is chaos. And when was there no chaos on earth? Tell me. There has always been some or other chaos. There was a fear of Indo-China war. There was a fear of Indo-Pak war. And suddenly there was fear of famine. There was fear of floods. Just look at those areas which were flooded and people had to get all their things overnight and put them in a boat or stay on the rooftops, wait for a boat to come and fetch them. Hasn't this been happening almost every year in this country or elsewhere in the world? Earthquakes, you don't even know, you're sleeping at home, suddenly everything starts shaking, you come running out of the house, isn't it? We have been having these sort of situations. In all these situations, when you could sleep, you can meditate. Best way to cope up with any current situation, you go inward, ask yourself, who am I? You'll find the strength to manage any situation.